We will open it up first with you, and then get them to begin to open up.
Okay. I've been the longest in this group, and every time somebody comes around, they come for me.
NeNe,
No, because those people are very wrong.
It's not Attack NeNe Day.
The next portion of Season 7 in Real Housewives of Atlanta. Season 7 is NeNe trying to put together this thing with Dr. Jeff, I believe is his name. A Dr. Jeff session. And when we were watching this, when Dr. Jeff was talking to NeNe about how I'm not going to take sides. You're mature enough to handle the situation. I said when we were watching, NeNe's not mature enough to handle this, not knowing what was coming. And she certainly was not mature enough.
She's like, Dr. Jeff, I don't know you, and I didn't call you here to represent me. So,
which is crazy. So, like, once again, I don't know if this was producers making this happen. But on screen, we see NeNe trying to put this together.
Okay.
And then the session happens. And I guess, sure, Claudia, Kandi are like blaming some things on NeNe. And NeNe felt like it was just an attack on her.
Hey, how are you? Can I give you a hug? Sure, why not?
Okay, hi. Kenya walks in with her fake ass, asking can she get a hug. Sure, why not? We both can be fake together.
Well, I thought it was important that all of us come together because obviously we are around each other. And I tried to say when we were together the last time, with the exception of Kenya wasn't there, that the word I'm a grown woman, let's handle things like a woman has been thrown around so many times, but the womanness have not been displayed.
She'll throw a rock and pretend like she didn't do it with her hands behind her back.
And I think everybody has funness in them, and I think it could be good if we all get on the same page.
And Kenya, I saw immediately you had a look on your face.
Well, going back to NeNe saying why I wasn't at the dinner, I wasn't invited.
It wasn't meant to be something negative. It was meant to be
I acknowledge
helpful.
that.
Okay, let me just say something else.
Hold on, NeNe, you're talking at Kenya, and you're not really talking to her. I'm representing the whole group.
As you should.
And I want you all to know that.
Okay, well, let me say this to you. I didn't invite you here to represent me.
That's very clear.
And number two,
That's right.
I don't know you like that.
Really?
So what is the question you have for NeNe directly?
What changed from the moment we were at the tavern and we made up and we felt like we were in a good place to the next time I saw you at Kandi's?
First of all, I think you clearly understand who I am, and I clearly understand who you are.
Dun, 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 dun.
Which means
Clearly, I don't, NeNe.
Well, we're never gonna be friends.
Claudia, very quickly.
NeNe, what happened when, we're at Kandi's house and you blew me off with that hello, kind of like shooed me away?
I've met her a long time ago. I don't know what happened. I've been the longest in this group, and every time somebody comes around, they come for me.
I just find it's been a very bipolar experience.
Well,
like
I'm not bipolar.
Well, bipolar is a very strong word.
It is a very strong word, but
It
Dr.
is,
Jeff.
and that's what
You
I'm
can't
not only
diagnose.
around you
Can we
3 times.
slow down?
No, don't come.
Hold
This
on,
ain't
hold
no
on.
come at NeNe Day. You're trying to be important in
This
this
isn't about you,
situation,
Portia,
and you're not important, honey.
Let's not mix apples and oranges. What happened that became hurtful for you, Cynthia?
We didn't really move on. And I felt like once the rift started, NeNe just went above and beyond to really just destroy the friendship at that point.
NeNe did?
That is?
Yes.
Then how did I do that?
How did you do that?
Yeah, explain so we can understand.
All right, I will
But don't be
explain.
sarcastic and really listen. Because one of the things that you did say was that you were very open to taking responsibility for your own
said
behaviors.
that, and I meant it. I really meant it.
Right.
I didn't feel like you would be open to really just have the conversation and move on. And that's just how I felt.
Really?
She's explaining it to you.
Yeah, I'm just saying really.
But then it's the sarcasm. It's the sarcasm, her looking at me with the dead fish eyes.
I'm fine with it, Cynthia, because I know it's all a big fat lie.
Kandi, was there something you wanted to say? Because I'm getting your vibe over here.
NeNe,
you always want to let it be known that you was first, or it's like you want to mark your territory. When you were saying a thing earlier about, you know, everybody comes for you, and I don't agree with that. I don't think that's true. You and I had issues. I know I definitely didn't feel like I was trying to come for you.
You know what? I'm gonna stop talking to you right now before I get blowing up on your ass.
You know, once y'all had that blowout, you did make different comments about, you know, you felt like she was irrelevant to the group or whatever.
Cynthia is okay. It's not like she's really bringing anything. So,
as a friend that you were like that with, do you just throw them away like that to where everybody is gonna be looking at them like, we wouldn't do that, right?
The issue is two dear friends who were thick as thieves.
really?
And who had an intimacy that other folks didn't have, okay? Who had intimacy that other people didn't have, fell out. And that made it 10 times more intense. If NeNe,
Why are you leaving?
NeNe, hold on, guys.
How can you have a conversation with someone who doesn't admit to ever doing anything wrong?
Now, really, go on, because this must be a tag NeNe day. And I'm not doing that with you.
Listen.
But should she have left the situation?
I mean, if you're a loser and you can't take accountability for your actions, then yeah, I could see how maybe you would leave. But it's not even like they were attacking her because they all were like, let's gang up on NeNe, but like she truly is the crux of all of the problems in this group. And like
So wait, you actually think that NeNe is the crux of all the problems?
Well, yeah, every time she's not around, they're able to have productive conversations and move forward. So clearly, yeah.
Why do you think she is the problem? Do you think
she's so nasty and so rude?
But do you think it's an ego thing?
Yeah, it's the I'm rich bitch. It's the just like NeNe just will not tolerate any sort of like dissent amongst the women. Not dissent, but like she is a yes woman. Like she wants to be surrounded by a bunch of yes men. And like as a Sagittarius, I can't understand that. I don't want to be around people who disagree with me either.
But why? Why do you all like yes people?
Who needs that toxicity in your life?
But it's not toxicity if they could give you some good feedback.
I want to be around like-minded people, and I said what I said. So.
Oh my god, so
I'm not on a fucking show.
Am I a yes person for you? I don't think I am.
Let's move on.
I think I like to play the devil's advocate too much. I liked the idea of the session, and it seemed to work for all the girls except NeNe.
Mm-hmm. We're on the bus. From the left, Claudia comes to me and she says, well, I feel there's been a double standard. You have been sleeping with a married man, and then here comes Kenya.
Portia's Rolls Royce came from a married man.
I saw Kenya point her finger and go and do the exact same thing she has done to me for so long.
Why did y'all come at Portia like that?
Claudia?
I had to ask you some things that were on my mind.
What was on your mind?
All these awful things that I'm being called, it was very vicious and very mean and very personal. It is okay to sit there and laugh at another woman calling me a whore.
You're a whore. You done slept with everybody. They don't want you.
But when I bring up what you're actually really doing, allegedly, it hurts you. I apologize for that all day long.
I appreciate that.
Basically, after NeNe exited the building, the therapy session actually started to work.
However, another part of this that didn't make the session is Kandi and Phaedra having a falling out.
Mm-hmm.
Because Phaedra felt like Kandi was not there for her a lot during her issues with Apollo.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And as the show painted it in the edit, that seemed to be the case. Because when Kandi comes back to Phaedra, it's like she's just trying to get the tea.
Yeah, it's very gross. I didn't like that edit. And even like kind of hearing Kandi's elaboration of it in the reunion, I was like, it sounds like you maybe weren't being a good friend.
Layla from Seattle said, Kandi, you have the nerve to compare a tour being canceled to Phaedra's husband going to prison for 8 years? If Todd were locked up, you would want someone by your side to support you.
First of all, The tour being canceled was not the only thing that was going on in my life at the time. The play was being canceled, but it wasn't just the play being canceled. It's just that I had to fire all those people, and all those people were dependent on me. So, yeah, I was stressed about that.
Well, Kandi and I used to talk very regularly, and once this started happening, we just weren't talking regularly. And the few times I did reach out to her, you know, she didn't text back, and so...
I didn't text back.
Well, because you said I was texting the wrong phone. We had that conversation, so it was just very different. You know? In comparison to all the other years that we've been friends, you know, it just got very strained at that time.
I feel like Kandi felt some type of way about Phaedra's approach to dealing with Apollo, where Phaedra wasn't gonna go take the kids to see him. She wasn't at the trials, and I feel like that actually made Kandi feel some type of way, because Kandi clearly comes from that like generation, or has that mentality of like you're supposed to hold somebody down. Nah, bitch, you weren't holding your family down. You weren't thinking about your kids when you were out here doing reckless shit. So I'm not gonna fault Phaedra for how she dealt with Apollo.
I agree with Phaedra. Yeah,
but I do feel like that truly, like, no one was gonna say it, but I feel like that is what caused the strain on Phaedra and Kandi's relationship, is that Kandi clearly did not agree with how Phaedra handled the situation. Because there were even moments in the season where Kandi had her nephew or somebody come up, or her cousin that she was taking care of, and be like, oh, tell Phaedra, you know, what it would have been like if you weren't able to visit your dad in prison. And it's like, this woman's not going to change your mind. She's not taking them fucking kids to that prison.
Exactly.
Knock it off. And I feel like they just didn't agree on that sense, and they just couldn't really move past it. But all the other shit about, you know, oh, you know, Kandi had other stuff going on in her personal life and she wasn't able to support Phaedra. Yes, I think that that's true, but I think at the end of the day...
It sounded like excuses.
Yes, because I think that truly at the end of the day, Kandi did not morally agree with how Phaedra was handling the situation. And I think that it was reflected in their friendship.
I mean, I can't disagree. The only time we see NeNe with the other girls after the Dr. Jeff session is at Phaedra's charity event, where NeNe and charity events don't go good together.
She's really got to hang out. And NeNe and Charity don't go good together, because we still waiting on that 20,000. I've heard the Detroit Public School. Did y'all get that?
Great point. I don't think they ever got that. We'll have to Google that.
And no, because when Kenya does her part and donates, it's a mockery, right? Even though NeNe was the one that proposed this on national television to show that she's a rich bitch.
But then didn't donate.
Right. Well, she's poor. I'm poor, and I don't have anything. Girl, shut the fuck up. Hang it up with the charity. You're done. Pack it up.
Did you ever give the check?
No.
Will you give the check?
When I get ready.
When you get ready?
Yes.
Okay.
And see, that's what really gets under my skin. You talk about being this rich bitch, you have all these jobs, you're on Broadway, you have all this extra money more than anybody else sitting on this stage. Why wouldn't you just cut the kids a check?
I think it was more her and Claudia getting into it again at the charity event, yeah. Do you think it was because Claudia wanted an apology for the whole clit joke?
I don't remember that. I don't remember how much... I don't really remember that fight, to be honest. But I do know Claudia was kind of poking the bear. But I thought it was just because NeNe was a loser and kept running away.
Yeah, she loves to run away from fights. We saw it with Marlo last season.
Well, she do be running away when she knows she gonna get her ass whooped.
Do you think that's why? Well, whooped or just verbally whooped?
Marlo was gonna beat her ass.
I don't think so.
Marlo... No. Stop. Marlo would beat NeNe's
but
ass.
I don't think
hold on. To go to your other question, I do think Claudia is a verbal and mental threat to NeNe. So yeah, I do think she runs away when she knows she's in a losing situation.
I don't think Marlo's going to attack her in that situation during season 6.
I don't think that Marlo... I agree. I don't think Marlo is this, like, violent person. Like, they tried to paint her out for being a convicted felon. But I do think NeNe knows that if it came to blows, you're going to lose.
Yeah, I don't... NeNe's tall. She can handle her stuff. I think NeNe runs away because she knows she's in the wrong and can't handle the fact that she's in the wrong.
Maybe. No.
After the session with Dr. Jeff, Claudia and Portia plan a trip to, where was it, Manila?
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody seemed to have a good time without NeNe. So maybe NeNe is the problem.
She is the problem.
That is also where Phaedra and Kenny allegedly squashed their beef, but I don't.
Allegedly. I mean, they're going to do about 50-11 times throughout this goddamn series, so I guess we'll see.
The only other notes I have in my notes for this section is NeNe on Broadway. Do you have any comments on NeNe on Broadway? That's why she allegedly couldn't go to Manila.
No. I mean, that and the blood clots that she had. I don't have any notes on her being on Broadway. I mean, I'm not going to be a hater and be like, you know, and shit on that. Good for her. She wants to be an actress. It seems like a great opportunity. I think not too much from NeNe and the whole, like, being an actress thing. Because it's like, if you need to be yourself and you need to, like, NeNe it up in order to make something funny, that means you're not a good actress. But, like, she booked Cinderella. They probably did book her for some component of it being NeNe-esque. And it seems like it worked, so good for her. Sure.
I mean, I can't disagree.